3 years ago today, November 17th, 2022, I took my first injection of Mounjaro. Blindly, may I add, with no research or anything done ahead of time. I've turned into a research queen since then, but I took my first shot and I just went for it. And 3 years ago, I looked like this. And now today, I look like this. I've lost 115 pounds. I've changed my entire life, more than just the weight. Obviously, my mental capabilities are way more advanced than I ever thought possible for myself. The way that the world has opened up for me has just transformed everything about me. And it never would have started if I had not taken that shot, that first shot of 2.5 milligram Mounjaro on November 17, 2022. Isn't that crazy? Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel for another video today. Well, this is my weekly update that I do every single week, telling you guys how the last week went in my life on a GLP1, and usually I'll share some news stories and stuff like that with you guys as well, that are, things that are happening within the GLP1 space. So if any of that interests you, I would love to have you subscribe and stick around. As I mentioned, today is my 3-year anniversary, so this update may be a little bit different than I normally do, because we're just going to we're going to reflect a little bit, right, on the last 3 years. But I also do have some stuff to talk about how my week went last week. It wasn't the greatest for me, and I did struggle a bit with a few different things, so we are going to talk about that. I'm making my way to my gazebo. That's right there. Oh, my finger doesn't know how to finger. Right there. And we're gonna sit and have a chat. I haven't been in there in a while. It's been too cold lately, so I'm pretty excited to just sit down and have a chat with you guys. So let's go to the gazebo. Okay, so I'm at this gazebo now. This is a different angle than you guys usually see. When I usually sit over there. The sun was in my face. We're also struggling with a leaf blower man over there, that from the city. He's like a natural gas person. I don't know, he's leaf blowing, and he's been doing it for like an hour, and I've walked around this trail like 14 times trying to wait for him to stop. So hopefully that's not too distracting. So to just jump right into it, we'll talk about how my week went first, and then we'll dive into all of the other stuff. So this week I struggled a lot. Now, you guys know that I'm not weighing myself currently. I decided to take a hiatus from the scale. I actually don't even know where it is. Chris hid it until January, till probably not January 1st, right? We'll probably wait till mid-January away. I just feel like I needed a break. I know that the scale is great for a lot of people. I understand that. I always get the people that are like, but I weigh every day and it helps me, and that's great. For me though, it was just not mentally healthy at this point. So I'm taking a break from that. So I don't know what I weigh. However, I had some side effects or symptoms this week that I am just really struggling with. The biggest being sleep. Now, that has always been an issue for me. If you know, then you know, if you've been around. This week has been the absolute worst that it has ever been, and nothing in my life changed. I didn't even start a new vial. It's the same vial. I'm at the end of a vial. I do not know what's going on, but starting Thursday, which was after I took my shot, today is Monday, starting Thursday, so Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday night, 4 nights, I have not fallen asleep before 2 a.m. and I do not know why. And I have done all of my usual things to make myself fall asleep, which for me are melatonin. If I'm dire, a Benadryl has not worked. Okay, now I know I brought this up a million times before, and sometimes I'm like a do as I say, not as I do person, because I know so many people have told me to take magnesium, like the bio-optimizers or whatever, so many times, and I'm just somebody that's really sensitive to medicine, so I've always wanted to hold off and not take things that I don't need to take, blah blah blah. Anyway, all that to say, I bought some bio-optimizers magnesium on Saturday morning. I placed an order on Amazon for them, and I got them that same day. I paid for same day shipping or whatever. I think I actually just bought something to make it the $25 minimum or whatever, and I took it that night. I have not noticed any significant difference yet. However, according to Google, it can take up to a couple of weeks to really see a difference, so I will update on that. But I did find them to be a little bit more affordable on Amazon. I know a lot of people love them. On the website, they're $40 something, and on Amazon it was $23 for the 30 capsules. So anyway, if you want to check out the Amazon ones, I'll link them below, because it's the same exact thing. So anyway, we'll see how I go with that. For people who do take those, do you take 1 or 2 a day? The serving size, I guess, or whatever it tells you to take is 2. But I do feel like it's definitely made me, I notice it working. Like it's supposedly known for its like calming effects, and it's definitely made me just more mellow. Have you ever guys watched Firefly Lane on Netflix? It was a show too. It was a book by Kristen Hanna, but the girls, when they flash back to the 70s, they'll go mellow, mellow. That's what I keep like reminding myself. That's why I keep telling myself, mellowed out. I do notice that. So another recommendation that I've heard a lot is like THC gummies. I can't get those here in North Carolina, but I know that they work for a lot of people. I know several people that take them. The ones that we can get in North Carolina are like trace amounts of THC. Like legally they can only have so much in it, and it's just not even worth it according to what everybody I know that takes it does. So anyway, there's that little caveat there as well. But I am just hoping that I get some sleep over the next few days, because I have been falling asleep at like 2 a.m. and then I have to get up at 7, and so actually on school days I get up at 6. So it's just been a whole thing, and your girl is tired. So if you have any more tips for that, let me know. It's not a caffeine thing. I don't drink a lot of caffeine. I drink coffee in the morning, and if I get a refresher from Dunkin', I skip my coffee. So I have one caffeinated thing in the morning. It's gone before lunch. The caffeine's way gone by bedtime, so I don't know what's up with that, but there's how my week went as far as that goes. I also noticed that when I started taking the magnesium, my bowels just were like, okay, we're working again. So I thought that was pretty cool as well. So yeah, that's how my week went. So I actually came across something that I wanted to share with you guys. I came across this late last week, and I actually sent it over to Melissa to watch as well. But there's a TikTok, well, she's not just on TikTok, she's kind of everywhere, like a social media spinal doctor. So she does spinal surgery. She's a surgeon. Her name is like Betsy Grunch or Grooch or something like that. Grutch, maybe. She's like redhead, and she wears glasses, and she's really fun and like hip and just cool. But her handle is Lady Spine Doc. So I'm bringing this all up because she did an interview recently with another neurologist, and they were talking about GLP-1s and how the GLP-1 use is translating within their patients, specifically neurology patients, right? And they were having this conversation, and obviously this is anecdotal, like what they are seeing with their specific patients, yada yada, but they were talking about how they are seeing differing levels of spinal fluid production within their patients that are on a GLP-1. And this is with established patients that they have seen for a long time, that they've been measuring levels and stuff like that throughout a period of time, right? But she said that even before the weight loss, before they're even really getting to the point of weight loss, they are seeing altering levels of spinal fluid production. So this makes me kind of have this whole like wraparound moment. Are we seeing differing spinal fluid levels, a neurological side effect because of all of these? Like, is that part of why all of these other neurological things are happening in the brain when we're talking GLP-1 use? So like with, addiction and food noise and all of that, are we seeing, is that all tied together somehow? I don't know. I just thought it was really cool. I love when I see things that are like different, like side effects or benefits or whatever that are different. I also saw another thing. So these are the top 2 things I wanted to share today. Another article I was reading the other day talking about how patients that are on a GLP-1 that have colon cancer, so they've already been diagnosed with colon cancer before they get on a GLP-1, are actually faring better than those who are not, which is interesting because the GLP-1 changes your gut and your intestines and how they function, and colon cancer is in your intestines, in your colon. So I think that's quite interesting that for some reason, what is the connection there? Why are people who have colon cancer or on a GLP-1, their treatment is going better than patients who are not on a GLP-1 and have colon cancer as well? Interesting. That's something that I want to dive more into. Colon cancer is actually something that runs very deep in my family. My great-grandparents, both of them, my grandfather had colon cancer twice and actually passed away from it the second time. And then Chris's grandfather had colon cancer as well. So it runs very deep in our lineage. And so like I'm somebody that has to have a colonoscopies starting at age 40 instead of age 50. So it's a whole thing. So I want to dive into that more. So if you've heard anything else about that, I just came across this random article about it, and those are my favorite to read. Like, I literally will just go on ChatGPT and be like, tell me GLP-1 news, and all of these different articles will pop up, and then I'll go to like Reuters or wherever the article's coming from and read it. I don't trust everything ChatGPT itself says. Very important caveat. Click on the article and read where it actually is pulling it from, you know. But anyway, it's really fun to just like sit and like engulf myself in that world for a while, and that's where that came from, and I'm really interested in finding more out about that. So this is to like news type things and what's kind of going on in the science medicine world. It's just so cool how they are changing not just obesity medicine, but like medicine in general is being shifted. And in 20 years, how many things are going to be treated with a GLP-1? You know, I just think it's going to be so cool to find out and figure out and see. I think that's all I really had to talk about today. I really feel like I had more to say, but yeah, 3 years. So tomorrow I'm actually going to be sharing a video that is like the top 3 things that I have learned since in the last 3 years. So one thing for each year that I've learned, and they're not going to be exactly what you would expect them to be. So stay tuned for that. I'm really excited for that. And then later this week, we are going to be doing a sort of what you can expect timeline over the first several months of GLP-1 treatment. There's going to be so many new people coming into the GLP-1 space in 2026, you know, early new year, new you type of person, type of thing. There's going to be a lot of new people, and so I want to create some type of like guide. What can you expect from a real relatable standpoint? Because you guys know I don't sugarcoat things, and I don't glam things up to be this big thing. It's really not as big of a deal as everybody makes it be. It's just not. I responded this morning, if you follow me on TikTok, then you already saw this, but I responded this morning to a comment from somebody that was like, essentially the comment said, take GLP-1s for a while and then get off of it. Like, you just need to put in the hard work and do the hard things. And it got me thinking, and I ended up responding to her comment with a video, because you can like reply with a video, but it got me thinking, like, we've been told for so long, for, you know, decades, literally like 50, 60, 70 years, right? That health should be difficult. Like, it's been ingrained in our brain that the reason you're not healthy is because you haven't put in the hard work and worked hard enough to become healthy, right? But then there was always this subgroup of people that like were just healthy, and it wasn't hard for them, right? And they would always say, it's not that hard to just like not go to McDonald's, or it's not that hard to just take a walk every day. Like, why can't you do this? What's wrong with you that you can't do this, right? And now we know why. Because, so there's this whole group of people that have the mindset of, you guys just haven't worked hard enough. It's not that hard. Where is the disconnect? The disconnect was our bodies, right? And so I ended up responding and saying, that's the whole point, is that it's not supposed to be hard. It's hard for us because something was broken in us. Our insulin was not responding in our body the way that it should. It wasn't telling our body, it wasn't cueing our body on what it should keep and what it shouldn't, and how it should function, and where it should send this. That was the disconnect. Your body didn't have that disconnect. And now our body doesn't either. And it's just like, getting that through to people and getting it through to some people can be difficult, but most people are starting to get it, I think. And when we educate instead of demean, I think that can go a long way. So in responding to that video, I wasn't like, you're wrong, blah, blah, blah. It was like, no, it's not supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be easy, like it has been for all these people for so many years. And they knew it was easy, and they thought something was wrong with us, or that we were weak because we couldn't do it. No, we weren't weak. We were just broken. So it's not supposed to be hard, friends. That's my takeaway for the day. So yeah, I hope you guys have a great start to your week. I'm feeling very grateful today. Very grateful to 2022 Brittany, that she did this thing and that she created this whole new life for herself. And I pray that each and every one of you are doing that for yourself as well, and that you are finding the same benefits in the GLP-1 as I have, and the same strength and the same resilience that you always knew you had, but your body was keeping you from. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Stay tuned for everything that I have coming this week, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day, guys. Bye.